Hello, welcome back to a chapter a day. Happy Sunday, first day of a new week, and we will be continuing with the book of Judges. So yesterday I read Judges 17, was a short chapter about this Israelite by the name of Micah and his mother, and 1100 shekels, silver shekels that or shekels of silver, I believe, that Micah had taken from his mother. He confessed he took it. She blessed him for being honest, oh, I guess. And then she took some of the shekels and went to a founder to have some images made. So, to let you know that Israel is in a state of idolatry right now because there is no king. I don't know if the last prophet they had was, or the last judge they had was Samson. And since then, we've not heard of another. So let's see what takes place. Oh, by the way, Micah also took in a Levite to be his personal priest. So he believes that having this priest in his home will bring him God's blessings. So let's see how that works out. Chapter 18. In those days there was no king in Israel, and in those days the tribe of the Danites sought them an inheritance to dwell in. For unto that day all their inheritance had not fallen unto them among the tribes of Israel. And the children of Dan sent of their family 5 men from their coast, men of valor from Zorah and from Eshtaol, to spy out the land and to search it. And they said unto them, Go search the land. Who, when they came to Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah, they lodged there. When they were by the house of Micah, they knew the voice of the young man, the Levite, and they turned in thither and said unto him, Who brought thee hither? And what makest thou in this place? And what hast thou here? And he said unto them, Thus and thus dealeth Micah with me, and hath hired me, and I am his priest. And they said unto him, Ask counsel, we pray thee, of God, that we may know whether our way which we go shall be prosperous. So, what's happening here? The Danites, which is from the tribe of Dan or Danites. Of course, Israel still does not have a king, and the Danites don't have all of their land. I don't know why, because they were afraid of the inhabitants of the land that were there. So when they should have been fighting off the inhabitants, they were afraid and they were living among them. So now it seems like they're about to go. They finally have the courage to go in and fight those people off for their land. So they come to the house of Micah and find the priest or the Levite there. We still don't know the name of the priest or the Levite. And they ask him, what is he doing there? Because apparently they recognized his voice when they were there. And he told them, well, the Micah hired me to be his priest. So they are asking him to go to God and find out if they will be prosperous in their venture to get the land. Verse 6. And the priest said unto them, Go in peace, before the Lord is your way, wherein you go. Then the 5 men departed and came to Laish, and saw the people that were therein, how they dwelt careless, after the manner of the Zidonians, quiet and secure. And there was no magistrate in the land that might put them to shame in any way or anything. And they were far from the Zidonians, and had no business with any man. And they came unto their brethren to Zorah and Eshtaol, and their brethren said unto them, What say ye? And they said, Arise, that we may go up against them, for we have seen the land, and behold, it is very good. And are you still, and are you still? Be not slothful to go and to enter to possess the land. When you go, you shall come unto a people secure, unto a large land, for God has given it into your hands, a place where there is no want of anything that is in the earth. So these 5 men from Dan's tribe, the 5 Danites, after they leave Micah's house, they go back to their own tribe and tell the people, hey, we came up to this place called Laish, and there's no one there that seems to be afraid of any, invasions. Apparently the people were secure, as they said. So I think it's good for us to go on up and take the land. So that's what they're telling them. Verse 11. And there went from thence of the family of the Danites, out of Zorah and out of Eshtaol, 600 men appointed with weapons of war. And they went up and pitched in Kirjath Jearim in Judah. Wherefore they call that place Mahaneh Dan. Unto this day, behold, it is behind Kirjath Jearim. And they passed thence unto Mount Ephraim, and came unto the house of Micah. Then answered the 5 men that went to spy out the country of Laish, and said unto their brethren, Do you know that there is in these houses an ephod, and teraphim, and a graven image, and a molten image? Now therefore consider what you have to do. And they turned thitherward, and came to the house of the young man the Levite, even unto the house of Micah, and saluted him. So while they, so 600 men of the Danites, after they heard the report of the 5, I guess you can call them spies maybe, about the people of Laish, they have decided to go up and fight and conquer the land, take it from the people, because apparently the people aren't even very warlike. They may be just very docile. While going there, they come upon Micah's house, and the 5 men that had gone first to spy out the land told the 600 that there were images in that house. So the 600 men now are going to confront Micah and the Levite about the graven images. Verse 16. And the 600 men appointed with their weapons of war, which were of the children of Dan, stood by the entering of the gate. And the 5 men that went to spy out the land went up, and came in thither, and took the graven image, and the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. And the priest stood in the entering of the gate with the 600 men that were appointed with weapons of war. And these went into Micah's house, and fetched the carved image, the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. Then said the priest unto them, What do ye? And they said unto him, Hold thy peace, lay thine hand upon thy mouth, and go with us, and be to us a father and a priest. Is it better for thee to be a priest unto the house of one man, or that thou be a priest unto a tribe and a family in Israel? And the priest's heart was glad, and he took the ephod and the teraphim and the graven image, and went in the midst of the people. So here's what's happened. The 600 men that came with the 5 had their weapons out, went to Micah's house, and took out all the images that were there. And then they told the Levite or the priest to come with them and be their priest, rather than stay there and be just a priest to one man, be a priest to an entire tribe. And he agreed. Apparently, I don't know, they said he gladly agreed, because I'm not sure if he really didn't want to be in Micah's house. Okay, verse 21. So they turned and departed, and put the little ones and the cattle and the carriage before them. And when they were a good way from the house of Micah, the men that were in the houses near to Micah's house were gathered together, and overtook the children of Dan. And they cried unto the children of Dan, and they turned their faces, and said unto Micah, What aileth thee that thou comest with such a company? And he said, You have taken away my gods which I made, and the priests, and you are gone away. And what have I more? And what is this that you say unto me, What aileth thee? And the children of Dan said unto him, Let not thy voice be heard among us, lest angry fellows run upon thee, and thou lose thy life with the lives of thy household. Okay. So after they took away Micah's goods and images out of his house, the people around with whom Micah dwelt, they all came together after them and started asking them, why it is they're taking away their stuff. They turned to Micah and say, what's the problem? So Micah said, what do you mean? You took away all my images. Now, what is it that I have? You took the priest also. I don't have anything left. So they said, well, you know what? You better stop making noise and bothering us before we get angry and fall upon you or kill you. That's what they're saying. Verse 26. And the children of Dan went their way, and when Micah saw that they were too strong for him, he turned and went back into his house. And they took the things which Micah had made, and the priests which he had, and came unto Laish, unto a people that were at quiet and secure. And they smote them with the edge of the sword, and burned the city with fire. And there was no deliverer, because it was far from Zidon, and they had no business with any man. And it was in the valley that lieth by Beth Rehob, and they built a city and dwelt therein. And they called the name of the city Dan, after the name of Dan their father, who was born unto Israel. Howbeit the name of the city was Laish at the first. And the children of Dan set up the graven image, and Jonathan the son of Gershom, the son of Manasseh, he and his sons were priests to the tribe of Dan until the day of the captivity of the land. And they set up Micah's graven image which he made all the time that the house of God was in Shiloh. So the Danites came, they fought off. I'm sorry for that noise. That's somebody outside washing down the side of the house. They decided to take all the images, and I guess they put them in a place, and they started worshiping the images. So the Danites, apparently, after they fought off all the people of Laish, or from the place that they spied out, because there was nobody there to help them, they may have been just a small company living there, they took over all of the images and started worshiping them. And that's it. Those were the images they got from Micah's house. So they were graven images. And we're going to notice later on that we don't hear the name of Dan, the tribe of Dan's name mentioned for the 12 tribes after a while, because the Danites were totally turned over to idolatry. And this may have been the beginning of it, when they took those images out of Micah's house and decided to use them. That's the end of chapter 18 of Judges. And we will go on with the next chapter the next day. Thank you all for listening. And I pray that you continue to be blessed each day. And remember, faith comes by hearing God's word. Take care. Bye.